It's day 30 of designing Animal Crossing Island in 30 days on hard mode. It is the last day. We're still at 4 stars. The good news is all of my dailies are done. I wanted to be prepared today to just start spamming items, doing everything we can to get that 5-star goal met as fast as possible. So I'm free to work on the island, which is great. There is one thing I've been putting off though, and that is the designing of an island flag. I'm sure people were placing bets that I would forget to do this part. But no, it's just a task that's been haunting me from day one. And I'll be honest, I still don't know what I'm going to put here. This blank canvas is very overwhelming. But after giving it a little bit of thought, I think we should do something like this. I've begun by stamping down 5 stars, which when you look at the pixel form of them, they don't really look like stars. But if you look on the left here, they actually do. They do kind of look like stars. So we have 5 stars here, right? This is, you could argue this is me trying to manifest something that might not be possible. We're going to try. But I wanted to also see what would happen if I tried to like hollow out one of the stars. And yeah, it's really tough. I suppose if I went with a different background, something maybe blue, I think that's fine. And then simply played with the color of this star, making it maybe white or something, that would kind of make that one spot look kind of empty. Like we have 4 stars for sure. We just don't know if the island is currently deserving of 5 stars. I do think putting some text though at the top to outline our achievement here, whether we get 4 or 5 stars, is going to be important. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe commit to this. Actually, I don't think I like the 0 without the hard corners. And since it's such thin font, I'm trying to just kind of do something a little fancy with it. So I think that's what I'm going to go with for 30 days. And then for some kind of symbolism, I decided to throw a pumpkin on it. I just don't know if I love this. In fact, I know I don't love this, but I'm in a rush. And unfortunately, the pumpkin kind of became like the ultimate symbolism for Grimvale. So I guess that's just going to have to be. I mean, there's probably a lot of things you could think of that would be a good symbol for Grimvale. I'm going with the thing that you're going to see a lot of on the island, and that is pumpkins. I don't even know if blue is the right background, but what I like about it is that it has enough contrast with the yellow stars and the pumpkin. So what we're going to do is hang this flag up, and here's what I'm thinking. If we manage to get to 5 stars today, I'll update the flag. Otherwise, if we fail, it's going to be a monument to how bad we messed up this challenge. Because I do feel like if we fail today, it's completely on me. It is my failure. I think this is possible to do, though, and we're going to try to do it. And I figured while we're here, we'll get an appropriate town tune to jam out to as well. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is. Isabel singing it makes it sound even more accurate. That was great. Okay, so we'll grab some quick and easy points for updating the flag and the town tune. And now it's time to get to work. So today is not only about finishing the island, but it's about getting the island to a position that we're proud of. And so I do feel like there's a lot of problem areas that we're left with right now. One is in front of the museum here. It just still feels a little bit naked to me. We, of course, have to naturify a lot of sections of the island, including this one here. And to do that, I am going to turn to, I think I mentioned this yesterday, stumps and things that make it look like there were forests where now there are not any forests. But there's also some other pretty empty spots like this one here. Like I think I've talked about putting a tree here before. We probably end up doing that. Maybe even a tree behind the house as well. We just got a lot of stuff. Yeah, you know what? Enough yapping. Let's actually start doing things. So I do have a few trees on me. I did go earlier to some islands and stuff. I actually have some cedar trees that I got from a Captain Island, and I have some extra cherry trees as well because I remembered that Isabel was still talking about fruit trees. And I think shoving those trees behind my house, not a bad place to start, except that's a little close, I guess. How about right here? There we go. Of course, the extra cedar trees, I think, need to just go in this forest over here. We've been trying to kind of make this forest a thing. So 4 more trees ought to make it feel a little more dense. Put one towards the back here. I think the very back of islands gets neglected quite a bit. I think we can afford to put one right here at the corner. Even more so, it's going to be nice to get Rodney's little area a little more shade, I think. I feel like he spends a lot of time back there. Then there's not a lot going on up here by the entrance to this little mountaintop, so we'll throw a tree right there. And that still leaves us plenty of room to work with in terms of just putting down more clutter. I also talked about maybe putting a yard sale sign somewhere. I think that would probably go right here. So it looks like we're not done in the custom design tools just yet today. I do also have some more shrubs that I grabbed. And it seems like we have like wild windflowers and things like that. I was thinking of replacing these with other flowers, but we're short on time. So I'm probably just going to have these flowers still here on the cliffside, and I will accompany them with some of these shrubs along the way. But I'm going to plant this here a little bit closer. And I just think scattering more shrubs here, there, and everywhere is probably a good call. We can even start to put some over on this side of the woods where there's a little more paths and things like that. I've been trying to decide if I want something maybe like right here, because I've been walking through this now since we made it, and I've been trying to figure out what part I walk on the least. That makes sense? Just to make it feel a little more natural. So if I put a shrub right here, for example, does that kind of block my natural path? And I don't think so. I actually think I still run into the bottom part more than I even would come up against the shrub at all. I think we take another one and maybe put it back here just so it doesn't like look so alone and weird over here by itself. Maybe our last one could even go at the entrance to the entrance to this place. Something like that right there. So yeah, a few more little shrubs here and there. And now we have, at least like in the hills and stuff, a good kind of like scattered amount of shrubs. Like it's pretty normal to see them just everywhere across the island, but hopefully don't feel too overused. Right here, for example, feels a little bit cramped. It's just kind of about, how do I explain this? Like stopping in one spot and just kind of looking at everything and going, okay, like, is everything feeling a little too like lined up? How can I spread things out a little bit more? Speaking of spreading things out a little bit more, we have these tulips here, and I've been talking about how I want them to replicate one more time. They never did, but I'm going to steal 2 of them, and I'm going to put them where I've kind of always planned on putting them. And should I grab a couple other hybrids to join them? I think I will. I think I'm going to take the 2 black tulips as well and bring them where I want to go. And that is down here on these little dirt patches that we set aside for this ages ago. So we're going to do a black tulip here, a pink tulip here, and we're just going to mimic that on this side, just like that. So now when you walk up here, I guess it would look a little better if I maybe used orange and black ones because of the theming around here, but I don't have any more orange. I just have 1. So this will have to do, and I think it makes the entrance to the cliff top here look nice and welcoming. As for the rest of the flower garden, it is a shame that I never got a yellow hyacinth fully grown here. I do have 1 in my inventory that finally spawned from these, but it's not fully grown. It's currently like just a bulb head kind of thing, and I don't like that. I'd rather not have it at all. So instead I might put like a watering can here or a gyroid or something. I'll put something in that little corner so it doesn't feel so weird. But yeah, this flower garden pretty much staying as it is. And other than maybe a couple of little clutter items up here, I really do like the way this side of our cliffs turned out a lot. Like I just kind of committed to some sort of theming, and it worked. This turned out really nice. This right here is where our bamboo stalks are going to stay for the dream address upload, by the way. A little bit bummed out by that. It's a shame, but it's okay at the same time. I'm not too bothered by it. They look kind of cool, actually. You don't really get to see bamboo stalks in this stage of their growth too often. So those are the plans. Let's get to crafting. And with the crafting done, I'm going to start up here in the woods. So I've crafted a whole bunch of log stools and log stakes, and I always figured it would come to this. I always figured what I would have to do is start just spamming items, DIYs, that I had already. Ones that are spammable, ones that make sense to see around, you know, often. But I do want to make it clear that I don't love this. This is not like something I was looking forward to doing necessarily, although I do think it will look kind of cool. I think certain items used in excess could actually look neat. This is my last log stool. I didn't make enough. I was just kind of seeing, you know, what the vibe kind of called for up here. I'll probably need a few more and maybe even some more log stakes as well. But already they do kind of look cool. I think you're kind of also seeing that I'm not customizing them. That's because I do like that variant quite a bit, but I might use some over by the pergola, and I will customize those. There's another variant I think that would look good by the pergola. I need to be careful too because this is the last of my hardwood, so I don't want to run out of this stuff completely based on just like maybe needing some other stuff. So I'm just going to craft 3 in total. And if I need more, I can always chop at some trees here. Earlier I did chop pretty much all the trees up in this forest we're working in right now, but I think that was the most chopping I did on this island specifically. So there's definitely other trees we could target if I need to like harvest some more materials today. I think one right here is fine though. I don't know how many more I should really put. We've kind of cluttered them over here. There's 3 in one spot here. Maybe one could go kind of in the back, and that might be good. Maybe like right here. Yeah. And then for the log stakes, these can also go in just about any spot at all. I kind of like the idea of maybe putting them next to the stumps in some cases, kind of like cluttering together some of the woods to make it look like there was a whole bunch of stuff growing in that spot at one time. I can't get any closer, but I could turn it this way. And yeah, I think that kind of creates, I don't know, a little bit of something. We could put one there in front of this tree and flower. Maybe we could put one here, maybe turn it, no, I think I liked it closer to the tree like that. Probably one by the entrance a little bit. Maybe just back up a little bit. Yeah, maybe something like right here would look pretty good. I was going to save the last one, but this spot is just so empty that I gotta use it. I'll put it like right here. And yeah, facing that way looks good to me. Let's go ahead and pop down our sign right here. And yeah, that's gonna kind of naturally guide your curiosity up this ramp. I should put it closer. There we go. Up the ramp. You have to assume that this is the sale. I shouldn't need another sign pointing straight to it. Although that would be kind of funny. Fine, you know what? Let's do it. Right there. There. So, yard sale, boom. Can't miss it. Unless we had a sign pointing down as well, just to make sure you actually... What if you just run off the cliff, not knowing that... No, I'm going to leave it like that. The next thing I want to do is play around with the angled signposts that we got access to a while back. I have 2 of them here. This one points to Nook's Cranny, and this one points to Able Sisters. This is not the most ideal path for these signs, but I do want it, at least one of them here. So what if I tried putting it on the path, like right by the bridge? We'll push it to the edge of the bridge. We'll turn it this way. And that does kind of imply, and it actually kind of points directly at Nook's Cranny. So it does imply there's something over here kind of to the right. You got to go up and to the right, which is why having an angled post works really nicely. As for Able Sisters, I thought about putting another sign like over there where the Nook's one is, but I'm thinking there's not a lot of stuff up here anyway. So it could be kind of fun to actually put this one in an unexpected spot right here on the corner. So we kind of put it here, we turn it this way, and imply that down these stairs, basically again pointing directly at the roof of the building, is Able Sisters. I can definitely see getting carried away with these signs, but even just using these 2 alone, I like them quite a bit. I've said for a while now that I thought this whole area just needed more. So I did go ahead and craft another set of table and chairs like this one, but I'm going to customize these to match, which I just finished doing, and I'm going to kind of put them in, I don't know, similar spots. This one was like right here. I'm going to put one maybe like right here, and again, this might call for some even more fencing or other items around it, but at the very least, I think it's going to look nice having like these 2 little sets back here. So I'm going to put this one here, and I kept the cat grass with it. I did make them that rust color. We just haven't used that a whole lot, but I think it, you know, it matches the vibes. It's fall. I'm kind of looking at different colors that are more, you know, brown and things like that, maybe forest green. Speaking of, I got this item customized, Mom's Tea Cozy, in a forest green. I think that looks really nice. And originally I thought making this area a little more professional, like putting down some different floor paths and stuff to try and make it seem, I don't know, I guess more intentional, but yeah, I kind of like it like this. Just these things placed here. I guess I could put little dirt patches under them, but I don't know if it needs that necessarily. Honestly, just like a little fence or something right here would help a lot. Maybe another item right here. And then I may re-customize it, but I did craft another silo. And I thought that could go basically right here by Nook's, because this area is just so like intense with farm vibes. So I figured a silo like this over here would probably look good. It would just add like a nice tall item to this spot. And I do kind of like it there. The trees are blocking it a bit. And I love that customization for the silo, but yeah, like I said, it would probably need to be re-customized. And I have to rethink the trees and stuff here. So there's another spot I was thinking it could go. Up here by the flower garden, we just have like nothing. Like nothing. So it could maybe go nice next to this waterfall here. Maybe not even like right on top of it. I could put it by this angled part of the cliff. I don't know if I like it there. Yeah, I keep putting it behind trees. It doesn't look good tucked behind a tree like that. But if I got rid of this shrub and this flower, and I mean, we have plenty of places we can put them instead, and just put it by the waterfall, that might look cool. By the way, no one ever stops to think about how awfully heavy some of these items must be that I can just easily push around like nobody's business. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think putting like the shrub and the flower next to this now would look a lot better. In fact, even better idea. I just don't think this tree needs to be right on top of the flower garden. I think this tree could go here, and it's not fully blocking the silo, but it's a tad closer. It gives a little bit more distance between it and the flower garden. And as for the shrub, I guess that would look good, kind of like maybe right here. Yeah, that's not bad. And then we can put the flower wherever it wants to land. I'll just stand here and hit plant. Yeah, that seems fine to me. So yeah, they are kind of tucked back there, but it looks pretty good. It adds something nice and tall over here. For a while, I've been thinking of coming back to this idea, by the way. This is a little thing, but I don't know. I just don't like how close this lantern rock thing is to the drinking fountain. And I think putting it here works, or maybe right there. This looks strange to me too, but I like it farther away from the drinking fountain. So I think I am going to leave it there. That's going to be, that's going to be permanent. I also have this one last cherry tree, and I'm wondering maybe if it goes here, it would look nice across the river. So I could just do that. Almost forgot, we did talk about putting a gyroid here. This gyroid kind of looks like a flower. So yeah, that works. And we have all these stumps, so I could take another gyroid that I customized and maybe put it right here. And that one is really nice. I customized this one brown. You know, it's in the woods. It just looks really cool. And I've had this stump here for a while. I figure, why not? Let's get another gyroid down. And there's still a ton to do, but now feels like a good time to take a little break and see where we're at stars-wise, because I did add more flowers. This cluster of flowers here is temporary. We're going to be moving it. And, I mean, if we hit 5 stars right now, it takes a lot of pressure off. All right, what do we got? 4 stars still. Okay, let's see what specific feedback we get. Okay, island's natural environment is getting some positive feedback, and it's still natural landscape. More greenery by planting fruit and saplings. I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in that feedback. I've added a lot of cherry trees since I got that last bit of feedback, and I don't have any other fruits to plant. I also don't think saplings are going to be something that kind of drives our rating forward. I never release dream islands that are 5 stars with little saplings on them. So I kind of feel like if I just place down some more items, I can probably just get around her feedback of like, oh, we need the natural environment to look better. I think I could get enough stuff on this island to where it won't really matter. That said, I do have one more Nook Miles ticket, and I can afford more of them too. So there is a chance going to like a Nook Miles island and grabbing like coconut trees could be enough to kind of like stop getting that specific feedback. I do usually plant a few more coconut trees than we have on this island at this current time. One thing I want to make sure that I do, and this leaf pile might be in the way, is plant some flowers around these trees though. I want the flowers that I've kind of like set aside to serve a specific purpose. So these are going to become decorations here by the entrance. I guess the real question is, will I have enough? Because I guess my plan was to maybe steal some of the ones by the cliff, but now they're kind of like, they have a job to do. So like these two here, we don't need 2 right next to each other for sure. We do need a new shovel though. I think I'm probably good to steal them from over here. Another spot on the island I've completely forgotten to consider. And after a bit of thievery, I have some flowers planted around these trees, which is something I've been meaning to do for a while, just to fill those little dirt patches out a bit more. And I like that. I like that a lot. Feels nice and dense. It looks good. Place the leaf pile back down right here. That looks good as well. Actually, since there's already one right over here, maybe what we can do is maybe place it somewhere over here, like, oops, maybe like that. And yeah, that clutters this up even more and expresses that indeed this island is suffering from the fall season. It is kind of weird that these trees keep all their leaves, but yet you can make these leaf piles everywhere. And then I just have 4 more white wind flowers to plop down wherever. And I guess I'm kind of glad she's not saying that we need like more flowers and stuff, because I really don't feel like getting more flowers. Of course, it's very temperamental. Like it goes 1 minute we're fine on flowers, the next minute once we fix like the tree problem, it's like, well, yeah, but there's like no flower. I also have one more shrub, which I guess I'll just put like right here at the corner of this waterfall. And then because I'm just running around randomly doing stuff, trying to get my inventory a little more empty, so I can get even more stuff crafted. I have the rest of my glowing moss. Let's just put it over here. Let's just continue to clutter this forest area with more of that glowing moss. Okay, yeah, kind of scattered it around, just here, there, everywhere. And that's a pretty good use for that stuff. I wish I had more glowing moss recipes. We'd create even more of that stuff, but just what we have for now is pretty good. So this is nice. Oh boy, Octavian's thinking. You know what? It would be the last day of this challenge that someone wants to leave. Let's see. Oh hey, maybe you can answer me this. Oh, I already had a flashy jacket. Okay, he just wants to give me a jacket. This is what it looks like, and you know what? It is flashy. I don't think I deserve to wear anything like this. I don't think I've earned this look. And I've gone ahead and crafted even more things, starting with some fence. I was going to use a different fence here, but I'm really low on materials. So we'll just go ahead and use this fence, which is also very nice. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and just make it kind of like section off my tree and everything from the rest of the path. I think something like that is good. I can actually still walk around it, which is ideal. I want to still be able to traverse the island, but you know, little touches like that kind of separate things in a nice way. I crafted some hedges too. I want to see if this looks any good. I just felt like maybe it would look better if we did something like this with the trees. It would kind of like signify that these specific trees and everything going on here is all for this area. It has nothing to do with the museum. I kind of like that. I like the way that looks. Meanwhile, over in this area, there's a lot of forgotten space, and I've been thinking about this too. I'm really low on materials for getting even more stumps everywhere. And while I know I need to be repetitive with some of the items I'm doing and placing down, crafting rather, I know that even for me, that's a little too repetitive. So I thought what I would do is just create like a seating area over here. And I might have to expand this little rectangle I've created, but let's start by placing down a swinging bench that faces away from the pond, and it's more of just like a gathering spot for multiple people to kind of sit down and just enjoy each other's company. A gathering spot that indeed I do think I'm going to make a little bit larger. In fact, I think it would look good right up against the river. Excuse me, Butte Pond. We're gonna flank the swinging bench with a couple of rocking chairs. And this is not looking as good as I thought it would. But here, give me a minute. I think if I maybe put these a little further back, maybe something like this. This isn't too bad. We have a couple extra flowers we can put around the area. And I think I'm going to move these trees just down a tile each. I don't know why. I just think positioning them a little bit lower would be better. Oh, a balloon is getting away. I see it by the beach. This could contain an item that would make the island 1000% better, and I'm not able to get my slingshot out in time. We definitely missed this, right? Yep. Oh, there it goes. Oh, man. I haven't seen a balloon all day, and I bet that was something nice. Okay, anyway. So I think this is the start of something. It needs more. This spot is begging for more stuff. Now Molly's thinking about something. Wait. I was on my way to do something. Now that you're here, maybe you can help me with a problem. It better not be moving away. I got carried away buying a lunch service cap. Why is it always clothing? I need items right now. I can't deal with this. I just don't want your old clothing garbage. Ugh. Anyway, I came over here to try something. I can only do what I'm about to do one time, and if I don't like it, I can't move it. Okay, I'm going to show you something that not everybody knows about. I've been feeling like this spot right here, oops, this spot right here, this is as close as I can get with the hole. No, that won't work for me. If I pull the rocking chairs up like that, maybe, I'm okay with that, I think. Can I dig a hole like right here? That kind of works. So I've been feeling like this spot in particular needs something. So see these money trees that don't have time to grow into the money we need? There's something you can do with these that, again, once I do this, I can't undo it, okay? So I really hope I like what I'm about to do. If you take this tree and chop it down though, like that, you get to keep that stump. That's a permanent stump. And you can do this with a lot of different trees. Well, I think all the trees. You can cut it down a little early. And yeah, it just adds some nature, I think, that you wouldn't normally get to see. Now, I do like this. It does make it seem like they cut down a tree and decided to use the wood to like build this bench and stuff. So who knows how many trees they cut down for this. It needs more around it. If you don't like it, you can just dig it up, but you can't move the stump. You know what I mean? That's a one-shot deal. I also have this money tree, which is slightly smaller than a regular, hardwood tree. So I could give this a friend and put the other money tree here. again, it does need something. Ooh, I gotta be careful with the shovel here, there. But I could put it right here and cut it down, or I don't know, I could leave it and put other stuff around it. Like I made the wooden fish, which is an item I don't use too often. It's a very interesting little item, and maybe it could just go here to add something. Wow, that stump takes up a lot of space. I can't push it any closer than that. I do think to balance things out a little bit, maybe I plant the undergrown money tree here, the larger one, and we just chop it down from this spot. So all we'd have to do is 1, 2, 3, and we have a slightly smaller stump than we normally would have if we cut down a tree. And I have this little recycled can, thumb piano instrument thing, and that can go there. I don't know why the 2 items I'm putting as clutter are both instruments. I'm actually going to push it a little closer to the stairs over here. I'll find some more clutter for this spot, I guess. Meanwhile, among the other items I crafted, I made another manhole cover just for this part on the street here. It's another little intersection. I figured why not. And where there are silos, there are excuses for hay beds. So I made another hay bed. I made 2 actually, but I don't know if I have room for 2. Oh, I almost forgot. Over by the water, I actually grabbed the shark tooth pattern fossil because I'm starting to realize I don't probably need more fossils by the museum. And yeah, I thought it would look nice by some water, and indeed it does. Gonna go ahead and pop down another signpost on the corner here and point it straight at my house. Not sure why I'm telling everybody that my house is there, but I am. And maybe look better actually closer to the tree, tucked in like that. And then something I thought I would try that is actually working out is putting hedges here. Even though I talked about how they might get in the way of the fountains or whatever, it's not letting me put them like angled in at all. But I was wondering if we just literally just cover the fountains like this. We use a symmetrical amount of hedges on either side. I could probably just put an item right here, and that would distract from the hedge just kind of abruptly stopping. I just want to check real quick. I indeed cannot push the fountains any further back. Okay, if I could, that might change things, but no. And with that random cluster of activities I just did, placing items wherever, I think the next thing I need to do is go to a Nook Miles Island and chop up all the trees to get more crafting supplies, and then we need to move on to crafting more Halloween decorations. I have the pumpkins to craft a handful of things, and all these big empty areas that I'm kind of like scratching my head about would probably, be well suited for, some pumpkin stuff. I don't have a ton of orange pumpkins, other than the ones that are planted that I refuse to scoop up. But I think I have enough to maybe put a couple more items around to decorate for the season and again add points. Before I go, let's just check and see if we're still at 4 stars. Please give me some good news here. Is it? No, it's still 4 stars. The feedback might be changing here. When you consider natural beauty, what is the first thing you think of? Flowers, of course. Now it's flowers again. Spend some time watering the island's flowers, and soon you'll have a blooming paradise on your hands. Okay, let's go get my Nook Miles ticket. I just want to be clear that in all this time I've spent today decorating, I didn't add more fruit trees. Since the last bit of feedback, I didn't add a single tree. I also may have added flowers because I was moving things around. I may have had flowers in my inventory last time I checked. I don't remember. So I'm just going to put this stuff away. I've cleared out some of my inventory at this point. And yeah, we're heading to a Nook Miles Island. Oh, you know what? There is even one more tree that I picked up while getting that feedback. So yeah, we have less trees than before, and Isabel went back to flowers. So it is difficult to know exactly like what makes this whole thing tick. And I do think it's unlike older games, it's not specific. You don't have to have a set amount of flowers and a set amount of trees. I think if we just focus on one particular thing, we'll be fine. We just have to like spam a bunch of something. We have a pretty good island here for our spamming purposes though, because this island contains like all types of trees. We have cherry trees, we have cedar trees, and we have coconut trees. Now the coconut trees are what I'm here for. I think I end up chopping down the cherry trees, and I think I take some cedars with me because I just have so many areas on the island at this point that are very, very bald. There's just not a lot going on, and spamming more of these trees will probably, yield pretty positive results. I will, of course, hunt down a piece of furniture that will surely fall from one of these. There it is. And freezer. Okay, yep, freezer's fine. I only have 4 more coconuts. I'm not going to take the coconuts from the trees I've already scooped up. Oh, I guess I could take the cherries. I was going to cut those down anyway. But yeah, we'll be able to gather up all these cedars then. With my remaining inventory space, I think I'll go ahead and grab the windflowers that are here. I mean, she did literally just tell me to plant more flowers. It'd kind of be a slap in the face not to take these with me. And that's about all I can hold. I could probably drop a couple things, but I'm not going to. We should be okay. I think some more fully grown trees will be nice. I think that'll be a nice little hack for getting even more points. And you know what? We did not plant flowers. I think we'll be good. Besides, we can always head back out to another Nook Miles Island today if we need to. Speaking of Nook Miles, I got back from that trip and got 1,000 points for miles for miles. So that's great. Okay, so I specifically grabbed red and orange flowers since I have used the most of those in that project by the entrance. And I thought now would be a good time to maybe replenish them over by the cliffs. So we're going to focus on these areas here that just don't have like anything going on at all. Especially like right over here, there's just nothing. Ugh, there's one white windflower. We'll put this over here. And then I think we'll sneak over. There's this spot. And granted, it did have windflowers at one time. I just stole them. So now I'm going to have to put some back. So I've planted those around, and I think I'm okay with the amount of trees we have up top on that cliff. It's actually over here where it wouldn't hurt to just have some more. So like right here, for instance, there's like a few trees and that's it. Like just nothing going on. So I think we can maybe strategically plant a couple more. Like maybe not one right on the path like that. Let's see if we can fit one here. It's not like I have a ton of these anyway. It's just kind of making like like a big line of trees here that looks odd to me. I'll fix that in a minute. Let's come up here and yeah, not a ton of trees in this spot where we could really use some. I've been thinking about this right here for a while, hoping that I got like an item that made sense. If not, it is kind of the perfect spot to just kind of plant, boom, a tree right there. Here, let's move this one. I was thinking maybe we could put it like right here, just continuing to line this little path and just create some more height and stuff. Yeah, I like that. And I have 3 more, which feels like a lot. I can put one here. This spot just feels like it desperately needs a tree. So we'll put one right here. When I saw this earlier, I'm like, oh gosh, I wish we had more of these trees. I'm just so glad we were able to get like a handful more. And yeah, maybe one right here, continuing to separate the campsite from the cliff. And that looks better. It's a little more dense. And if I did decide to put some stuff in here, I wouldn't need to put too many things. It would just be kind of like a few little items that you could see from like the lower part of the cliff, just kind of woven between the trees. But we'll see if it comes to that. I think what could really throw some points on the board is these few coconut trees that I picked up. So we have 4 of these, and it looks like I just saw another cedar as well that I missed earlier. So we can put one here. We can put a couple back here. I'll put like the last 3 there. And then that's pretty good. Once I find a spot for this last cedar tree, I think this will look pretty nice. Now, I've not put any cedar trees on the lower tier of the island, and that was on purpose because I just felt like they were more like mountain trees, if that makes any sense at all. But I have this stuff here, and I don't really intend on getting rid of it. Why don't I just put one cedar tree on this bottom part? Because it's close enough to the mountains anyway. And it can be part of this little weird crafting display that I decided to make on a whim. I don't know why I decided to make this. I just did. But if we just put a tree right here, I also have a hardwood tree that could go here instead. It could help make this feel more complete, I guess. I want to use the hardwood tree somewhere else. So yeah, I'm gonna put the cedar here. And look at that. Look at that. It's great. It's fantastic. I actually want to put the last hardwood somewhere over here because once I got rid of the trees in this spot, I always felt like this area was kind of barren. And you know, my fault. We've been through this, but this feels like a good spot for this last rogue hardwood tree, which was once a money tree. So, you know, it's bringing its own kind of value. Okay, let's see if we have 5 stars before we get into the Halloween items. We brought her flowers. We brought her regular trees. We brought her fruit trees. We've just ticked all the boxes just now. Good news? Great news. We did it. We took Grimvale to 5 stars in 30 days with no time traveling. I've got real strong feelings for that island. It's such a catch. As soon as I made landfall, I knew I was hooked. Even the scale of the place schools the rest. Plus, everyone there's like my chum. Yeah, It's fantastic. Well, there you have it. Yes, we finally did it. Grimvale, once a deserted island, untouched by civilization, earned the best possible ranking. Thank you for all your hard work. You were a key to this island's success. We get the golden watering can recipe, and we get to breathe a sigh of relief. Because I have to tell you, I didn't know if this was possible. I mean, okay, I knew it was possible, but I didn't think it was possible without really like spamming just the most ridiculous items all over the ground. Because the game doesn't actually care how you put stuff down. It's not able to monitor how good you are at design. All it knows is whether or not you have enough things on the ground. So this last star, yeah, I think we definitely earned this because for all of the odd spots on this island, it still looks pretty good in certain areas. Also, I've always wanted to try that. It didn't work. I thought if you change a design, like the flag design or something, it would instantly change what was on the flag. Kind of like if you change a path design, it changes it instantly. But no, if you have an island flag taking up a design slot, as long as you don't plan on ever changing it, you could absolutely just get rid of that and put something else in that design slot. I was going to update the flag, but hold on, let me walk back outside. And yes, I can confirm that updating your flag doesn't update your flag. You have to actually tell Isabel to put up the new flag. So you're probably thinking, okay, well, the video's over now, right? Well, no. I do have a couple of things I want to tackle before we officially call it done and I release the dream address. Okay, the flag is up to date. Yeah, let's go ahead and craft the Halloween items because there's still a lot of emptiness. I just want to fill it in a little bit more. So I really only have a few more, pumpkins. Not much hardwood. If I want to craft one of these, for example, it's going to take the rest of my hardwood. It means I wouldn't be able to make, no, I can make this. I wouldn't be able to make the little lanterns, which actually I'm not seeing here. Okay, let's assume I can't make those anyway. Okay, so I guess if I do this tree, I'll get one more of those. I can't seem to afford the arch. Oh, I need clay. Okay, I need clay for this too. So the arch also costs 10. I can really only afford one or the other. And I don't want to spend hardwood on these too much. I could maybe make one of these. But here, yeah, let's make this and let's make some other little pumpkin items. And I did indeed use every last pumpkin that I have. It leaves me with not a lot of options for decorating, but I think what I'm going to do is just place some stuff around. We're just going to have fun with it with what little items we have. So I made a spooky tower. I said we wanted something in this spot to kind of give the hedges a reason to kind of like stop where they're at. And so this continues to like keep things decorated for the season while stopping our hedges. I did make the spooky tree for this area over here. This big empty area has just been bothering me for quite some time. So the spooky tree can go right here and I probably should move it around a little bit. Oh, I don't like this clothesline here. I should probably move it a little bit, but it definitely fills in this gap pretty nicely. Let me just move it here. Yeah, it makes the town feel like it's really gonna like always be decorated for all the different holidays, which is not true. I want something between these houses, so let me place down this spooky chair and the spooky treats basket, which we can hold. We can do all kinds of stuff with that, but I'm gonna put that like right here. It needs a backdrop of some kind, so I don't know. I'll come back to it. Or maybe I'll just put it right here. I don't know why only this villager has a spooky treats basket. I know why. It's because I don't have enough candy. And Faith is in here. I'm hoping to find Samson. I wanted to try and give Samson one last gift, but I haven't seen him all day. Anyway, I did craft a few more things to kind of like place around. So one thing I thought I would try was the spooky lantern set next to this silo here. I thought the pumpkins were on the opposite end of it. It still looks good right there. I did this with the other silo, so I may steal that back for somewhere else, but we'll see. And then over here, I made a couple of scarecrows, and I thought just having like two of them up here, like imagine the wind kind of blowing a little bit. They have these little scarves that blow in the wind, and I don't know, I think they would look kind of creepy up here. So yeah, I thought let's place one here. Let's put like another one maybe by these trees over here. So we kind of pull this out, have it face kind of the other way. And I think this is where we kind of have fun just kind of placing a couple little items just around the town as a reminder of the season that we're entering into at the time of recording this very series. Put a spooky tower right here. I've always felt like this area needed something, and now we have something. We'll pop a spooky chair right in that spot. And it just adds something because it's kind of naturey, but also in case there's not enough seating here. It kind of adds a seat someone can grab, I suppose. Or better yet, let's do this. We'll plop the wooden fish on top of it, and now it just looks really odd. Let me turn it around like that so I can see the vines and stuff. Yeah, that does mean this random stump still needs something next to it. How about this flower? What does that look like? I don't know, something. Oh, I forgot. I do have one last spooky chair. Okay, yeah, we could do this, and we could put it here. And that to me just looks better. Because I do still want something over here, I grabbed a few more things. And I think this might look better if I just kind of, I don't block the path between these two houses. Not that there is a path, but like the ability to walk between them, I want to maintain that. And I think what I'm going to do is put down, I have a bunch of random stuff here. The clay furnace, which is a cool little item. It's something I've been thinking about putting back for a while now. So clay furnace there. I did the birdhouse again, I should say I customized the birdhouse so we can place it down again. And it looks like this now. And I think it kind of matches these houses pretty nicely. It also is in the way. But we could put it like right next to the house here. Now you can walk right through it. So this already looks way better with the ability to kind of walk through like this. I have an extra log stool that I just wanted to put somewhere over here. And yeah, I think just taking up more room in this area with natural little stuff like that in general is something I've wanted to do. I'm just kind of out of stuff, so there's only so much I can do. But, you know, little tiki torch there adds a bit of, like, lighting, and I have random, but I have a coffee cup that could look good there. Why do I have this coffee cup? I actually didn't mean to grab this. I don't know why. No, it's not the coffee cup I was thinking I had. Okay, so not that. The hay bed, though, we could just put that right there. And I actually don't know if I like that in this spot. Maybe we'll do this. Kind of pull it back, kind of put it like that. Yeah, all right, that's a little bit, I don't know. This is kind of giving like early days in Animal Crossing vibes. And technically it is. And then over here, I've never liked these two items here because this is early days Animal Crossing. Like, please just let me place down Molly's house kind of stuff. So, I don't know what I want to replace them with, but I did get this cooler box from a balloon the other day, and I thought I'd put that on the beach, actually. So I think that looks kind of fun. Here, how about this? We'll throw the tiki torch down over here, kind of, again, like guiding you to the beach a little bit. This kind of looks nice. It implies that, you know, you've arrived somewhere kind of cool. And then we'll go ahead and do some real quick customizations. And we're going to put this stuff back, but in a bit of a different way. And I'm going to say that this is like the area Molly likes to hang out at when she just feels like being by the ocean and looking out at the stars. I put a stool back there, and I think I can put maybe another one. I have two of these now, and I've customized them the same way. So maybe kind of like right here next to the path. I think that kind of balances things out nicely. I went ahead and customized this cushion to be the same as the pillow. So we can kind of put that next to the the bench here. And I don't know, it implies that sometimes she uses an extra pillow, or maybe sometimes someone hangs out to kind of chat and enjoy the view as well. How would it look on top of the stool, though? Because I just don't like it on the ground like that. That's really bothering me. Let me see. If I put it there, I don't know. It's also a bit strange. It looks better. Yeah, it's an extra cushion to use on the bench. Just, it's an extra cushion. I always felt like next to Samson's house, ever since we made this path, could benefit from some fencing. So I was waiting for the right fencing to come along. It never did. So we're just going to use a little bit of this fencing. And I'm probably not going to do anything else, to be honest. I don't really have anything else to put there. But it does feel a little more complete. I don't love that the only thing I have over here is this fire pit and a couple stools, but there's a lot of things I still don't love about this island. I know I've been asked to go more than 30 days, and there's plenty more finishing we could do if I decided to do that. But for the time being, I am going to call this complete. I need to do one last thing, though. I have some medicine because I noticed Sherry was sick. And then, yes, I need to find Samson. If Sherry gives me something really cool, though, I'll put it next to Samson's house. Starting to feel better, and want to thank you with a humble sweater. No, I humbly decline your humble sweater. He says he's having fun somewhere else, though. We need to find him. I have to give him this present. Unfortunately, that means I'm going to have to explore the entire museum. Well, maybe I should start at the cafe just in case he's having some coffee. Okay, good. Nobody's here. If he was having coffee, I don't think I could give him a gift. But all right, I'll explore the whole place and see if he's in here. And maybe we get his photo. I don't know. That's how I want to end this, though. If we can find Samson, and on the 30th day, after gifting him just about every day, giving him nice things, saying nice things to him, letting him kidnap us, playing high card, low card, after 30 days of all that, I think I deserve his photo. And there he is. checking out the bugs. What's the latest? He's just gonna talk about bugs, but I'm talking to him just to see if I have to increase the points that way. Will you please give me your photo? We got you to the #1 spot. Please, come on, you have to reward that. Look, you love fossils, you're in a museum. All right, time to flex my gratitude muscles. Please, 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 please. Relay tank. That's, you know what? No, he sent us away with a relay tank, and I honestly can't think of a better last present. Another 30-day challenge in the books. I want to thank all of you for watching. The dream address is on the screen now, so you can come and visit the island. I think I'm gonna upload it when it's like this. This looks pretty nice right now. You know, got the lighting showing up pretty nice, but it's also still a little bit daylight out. So enjoy. And click the video on the screen now, which will be right over here if you want to see the next thing I get up to, or a previous thing that maybe you didn't see before. And if you become a channel member, your name too could be scrolling by on the screen, just like everyone else's here is. Thank you all so much, and I will see you again soon.